Jatin, we will be together. I think there is some glitch and we don't have the hour session. I'm just getting that corrected. Just give me a minute. Talking because the session looks like 20 minutes. I don't know why. Let me just go talk.
Okay, hi everybody, how are you? I hope whatever we were talking yesterday, it helped you in some way. So today, what we are doing, as we plan that we will have one scale. Jatin is there. Yeah, Jatin, would you like to share something, please?
No. I think there's something wrong with the session. For some reason, the speakers tab was not enabled, and also not sure. Yeah, now other
Time
people are
is
joining.
coming less, I guess something is there.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
it's okay. That's really fine. So,
Yeah, no, I think I've just spoken. There is some issue, some glitch or something.
mm-hmm.
So that'll be corrected. So let's hear from Jatin and let's hear from Pranjal, and then
Pranjal.
we'll continue with today's session. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, about like yesterday's session. It was quite helpful. Like throughout the day, it felt like it was quite unwinding, and
Mm-hmm.
I was all thinking about it, and at the start, I was a bit emotional as well about it. Like I was thinking through and then checking out my feelings. I guess there's a lot which is under the hood. There's a lot going on, right? And yeah, I'm trying to uncover it, unfurl it, and then the I mean the
Yeah.
suggestions, the tips that were shared yesterday, trying to implement them. Yeah, yeah.
He was there yesterday.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, ma'am. Today only I downloaded this app, so I this is my first class.
Stay tuned. We would have something coming in, and we have Harshit also. Harshit,
Good afternoon, ma'am.
good afternoon. Were you there in yesterday's session? Were there any
No, ma'am.
takeaways?
This is my first
Great.
session of this circle.
Great. Stay tuned. So we would definitely come back to you and understand from you what we are doing here. And we have Suraj, Akhil, Eldrick. Anybody who has to say anything before we go on further? Anything you'd like to express? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. And today's session, Archika, let's
Yeah.
start with a wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. You know, Bhagavad Gita is something which has become a management tool today. And I'll give you, I'm building on what we did yesterday. We were talking about understanding self, we were talking about techniques, and Archika did give a technique of putting all the slips down into a box. So I hope everybody has started doing that. आपकी जितने भी negative thoughts हैं या जो आपको put down करती हैं, which put you into a guilt phase, you have started making those slips and putting them into a small box. Anybody who has any confusions with that? So there are basically three things which we did yesterday. One, we told you to make a box wherein you can start putting all those negative thoughts which come to you and all those criticism thoughts or the thoughts which make you feel guilty. So you start putting them down in a box and soon we'll come back to them. Archika ma'am did say that you can start burning them. If you are not ready yet, you can start putting them now. And if a thought is coming back, please make sure that you write 2 on that, 3 on that, so that you would know how many thoughts or which thoughts keep coming back to you. So we would want to understand which are the ones which really need to be taken first, and to be taken care of first. And the second was we gave you a senses technique in order to break the loop of the negative thoughts or the overthinking patterns, wherein you will have to involve your senses. We all have 5 senses, we know. We have the senses of sight, we have the senses of smell, we have the senses of touch, then we can hear and we can feel. So you'll have to involve all your senses while you're eating, while you're having any thoughts, and even when eating you are having thoughts, you just need to switch. So we did talk about that. And also the third technique which Archika told you about was that you will have to challenge that thought and ask yourself, is this thought really relevant at this moment, or should I put it to a back burner and tell it to come at some later time? This is also a technique wherein you ask yourself कि भाई ये जो थॉट आ रहा है, क्या इसको अभी एड्रेस करना और इसमें गुम हो जाना अच्छा है, या इसको बोल देते हो भाई शाम को आना, शाम को रात को 9 बजे आना. हम लोग ये करते हैं ना अपने एक्वेंटेंसेस के साथ, अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ. जब कुछ वो लोग हमें फोन करते हैं और हमें लगता है अभी इनसे बात नहीं कर सकते हैं, टाइम नहीं है, तो हम उनको कहते हैं यार कल बात करेंगे, और वी टेल देम चल एक काम कर शाम को लेट्स टॉक एट 10 o'clock. So you can start giving a time to these thoughts, and then we'll slowly go on to addressing those thoughts at that particular time. That's also a technique. Anybody who wants to say anything before we go on to today's shaloka, the verse from Bhagavad Gita, and we go on to societal pressures? And then, yes, we have the assessment today. We'll be doing an assessment to understand whether you take the onus of what you do in your life or you blame others for whatever is happening in your life. We see a lot of people there. We have Vikram, we have Anand is there, Rufin, Eric, Edric, Suraj, anybody from yesterday's session. Like Jatin, thank you very much for acknowledging that it really helped yesterday. Okay. I think I'll just hold on. I'll just pause for 10 seconds, Archika, and give everybody. Okay, Elric is saying I just downloaded this app. Great, Elric. So just stay tuned, and if you have anything you want to ask while we are talking, or anybody else is expressing their thoughts, their emotions, so that this becomes a platform wherein you can be onto the growth path, and you can be in that positive mindset of understanding yourself better and going ahead.
I was just thinking that, I mean, we have 60,000 thoughts in a day, and then most of them, many of them repeating over and over,
Mhm.
many times. So I'm just thinking, if it would be an overwhelming exercise if we try and monitor thoughts quite often. And I don't know if it should be time boxed as an activity that like how much time should be allocated to this, or we should be, I mean, it's like either be on the alert and on the go every time you hit a different thought which is a bit negative, put it down on a piece of paper and put it in a box, or do it for 30 minutes, observe, put it in a box, and then repeat, rinse and repeat every day. How would you?
Actually,
Okay.
Jatin,
Yeah, go on,
on
Archita.
this part, these activities are not for, as a daily routine. These activities are when these thoughts are actually disturbing your daily routine, daily life, day-to-day life is getting disturbed, and you are unable to concentrate on your work, your schedule is getting, haywire. Then you have to take out the time when these thoughts are actually coming, and then you have to do it. It's not, don't think about
Absolutely.
these activities like no I have to do it because मेरे को negative thoughts आते हैं और ये activity बताइए तो करना है. No. It's like a
Got it.
medicine. When you have a fever, you take medicine. You are not having a
Mm.
fever, you don't take it. Okay,
Like in my
fever goes,
case, it's
yeah.
all suppressed, so I don't generally don't get negative thoughts. But then I'm just thinking ki if there's a twitch, if there is a discomfort, then I can go back and kind of
To
unwind.
know
Yeah.
your everything, whenever we write prescription and there are some medicines we write for 5 days or 6 days, sometimes we write SOS, right?
Mhm.
So these activities are SOS.
Yeah.
Mm.
And when we realize these things are happening, so there is a duration we have to observe that what is the duration? 4 weeks, 6 weeks? Is it happening very often? Is happening every day? And what they are doing? If it's like sometime You get some thought and you are busy with something, it's gone, then it's not an issue. That's normal. That's very normal. But the thoughts are coming again and again. You are sitting, you are unable to concentrate on your work, your family life is getting disturbed, your communication is, there's a hazard in communicating and all. And your, मतलब नहीं आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि something is going wrong majorly with me. कहीं तो कुछ गड़बड़ है, something, some connection is not properly, connected. Then you need to do all these exercises like a when you get this mental pressure that you something I need to do. Then they are the like a medicines only. Being a psychologist, we don't write medicines as such, but we give this, takeaways and these activities and therapies and sessions. But this platform is such, I cannot give you session over here. I cannot start any therapy because that's a long process. Minimum 5 session I need with any of my patient. So
Individual
here
5 sessions with each person is what makes the real issues to go away. But these are, as Archika said, SOS. Now, when I am working, nothing is disturbing, nothing is hampering. I am very smoothly doing my work, good enough. But if a thought takes me over and it puts me into an overthinking mode where I start getting anxious, I start getting disturbed, and I don't know what to do, that's the time when you start using these techniques. Whether it is the five senses technique, or it is the box technique, or it is the technique of telling the thought to come later, or challenging the thought that is it important or not. I hope that made sense what Archika
That
said.
made sense. Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So
yeah,
we
and
have.
here, Rashima, actually, me and you both, we are trying to give at least we should give some takeaways. When you're attending the session, you're attending this, whatever we are conducting the circle. So we should at least help in some way. I cannot give you whole session, but I can give you, the tip or the trick.
A
So I
technique
always
which will
try
help,
a
right?
technique. So I
Absolutely.
always try and give like that.
So Gaurav says he is also installed today. Gaurav, absolutely all right. Stay tuned in, and if you have any questions, do ask, dear. And Edric says, but I click on my mic and it is saying something. Join if I would like to speak. Yes, you can become a speaker only when there is some space on the speaker panel. So if you want to say something, whosoever wants to say something, if there is no space on the speaker panel, you will have to write down, and we'll make sure that somebody swaps and you are given the opportunity of speaking. And right now there is a space, so anybody who wants to come in and ask something, say something, is most welcome. So we'll start today's thing. A very beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, where Lord Krishna imparts wisdom to Arjuna, and he says, it's a beautiful verse, I have myself understood. So just take 2 minutes, understand it. I'll give you the whole explanation. It says, Udaret atmanatmanam na atmanam avsadyet atmev hi atmano bandhur atmanev ripur atmanaha. Beautiful words, and it actually means raise the self by the self. Do not let the self sink into the self, for the self is the only friend and the self is the only enemy of the self, which means we have to deliver it to our mind. We can't degrade ourselves. We can't be our enemies. We have to lift ourselves to become our best friends. Moving further, we are talking about societal pressures and how it affects the social image and the self image of a human being. And that is where we are going ahead. If there is anybody in the panel or anybody on the speaker panel or the listening panel would want to say how, put up some questions, how society or the societal pressures are disturbing your self image. If there are any questions, please put down, because we would be telling you how societal pressures affect your image and how you can work and connect. Like I just said this, that we ourselves are responsible for making ourselves be our best friends, and we ourselves are responsible to be our biggest enemies. Now we have to choose, हमें अपना दोस्त बनना है या दुश्मन बनना है. So any questions up there on the societal pressures which are disturbing you? or we should tell you how they disturb you and why they disturb you and what you should do. No? Anybody? Archika?
Okay,
How?
so when we are
Yeah.
talking about the social pressure, so we split this word society and pressure. So society is coming from the environment, our family, our friends. And the pressure can be the stress, you can say. The stress is coming over there, the expectations. So by splitting this word, we get the meaning that whatever the pressure or expectation or stress we are getting from our surroundings. That is what we mean actually. Another thing what we have today in today's topic is self-esteem, right, Ashima? And
Absolutely. We'll be
if
going on to, yes, understanding that.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so I would like to explain one thing that there is a difference between self-esteem and self-respect. Sometimes we, get confused with this. Self-esteem is how much you love yourself, and self-respect is something how you show that love to yourself. Self-esteem is something externally work, and self-respect is like feelings and confidence internally work. So we need to understand when we are saying that you're hurting my self-respect, I cannot allow this. My self-esteem is too high. So we need to understand this difference, and we need to understand in a very deeper way that what actually self-esteem is and what actually self-respect is. Because as
Right.
per when research and I did it myself, that there's something called pro-social behavior. Pro-social behavior is when you are helping others, but you have in your mind, okay, today I'm helping, but someday maybe I get this help back. Okay, that's so pro-social behavior is. So it was like that I researched that does pro-social behavior and self-esteem make any difference on our quality of life? And I discovered there is no connection between the one. There was like people who were like into pro-social behavior where their self-esteem was high, but quality of life was not disturbed. There was people where self-esteem was low and pro-social behavior was not also not there, but quality of life was okay. So these concepts we actually हमें बहुत डीपली समझने की जरूरत है इनके मीनिंग्स को कई बार हम यूज कर लेते हैं डे टू डे लाइफ में भी एंड समझ भी लेते हैं बट गलत तरह से समझ लेते हैं
Archika,
आशिमा
I would want to understand the difference between self-esteem, self-respect, self-worth, and self-image once again, if you can go on again.
so as I told you self
And yeah, Gaurav also wants to speak something, but
yeah
after
yeah
you have
yeah
said
no
it,
no no
we'll go
it's
to
okay
Gaurav.
let him clarify.
Gaurav, what do you want to ask? Then we'll go back to explaining what Harshit has asked.
Uh, no, ma'am. You were asking that how society is
Hmm.
like harmful for your self-esteem. So
Hmm.
that I wanted to share
Please go
my
ahead.
thing. Because of some childhood traumas, I never went out from my room and
Hmm.
my home. So I had not any friends, and I don't have any friends, and that is causing my like I don't know what self-esteem is, but uh, I started doubting myself that I'm not good at communicating, and I started like I don't want to connect with people, and it started affecting my professional life also. So
Okay.
I'm not able to communicate with others. I am not able to explain myself. So that type of things I started. Yeah.
Okay. So you started on by saying that in childhood, due to certain traumas, you stopped
Yeah.
going out and meeting people, right?
Yeah.
Were you making a connection at people with home at that time?
Because the thing is my it's because of my family.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why. And society also. Because they were saying something on me, and they were saying something to my family. So I was scared of judgment, what they say.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So now I learned that uh, don't be so serious about judgment. It is important to accept their judgments, if someone is saying that you are bad, you are not good enough, accept, because the judgment is their nature. Everyone judges you. Yeah, if you are if they are saying you are a good person, then say thanks and accept that. If they are saying bad, you are a bad person, accept that also, but don't get affected. I learned that thing. Yeah.
That's very good, beautiful what you said, Gaurav. Would like to build on and ask certain things here. And Archika, if you have something, you may go on. But for now, Gaurav, I would like to appreciate you for this. That if people say something good to you, say thank you. Now, when you say if they say bad, don't get affected, absolutely okay with that. And we'll have to understand the fact that we don't get affected by what others say because we have made a connection with ourselves. So, my question to you is, Gaurav, do you have a great connection with yourself when you are with yourself? Are you able to spend good time, understand yourself, put your
Yes.
time? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Now I started, like, you can say, people say that loving ourselves. I started loving myself, and I enjoy being alone. I enjoy reading books, and I enjoy spending time with nature. And
Hmm.
I love to be calm. I love to be keep quiet. Before that, I was so anxious, and I try to speak with someone. I try to make friends. That type of things I tried, but now I accept that it is okay, and I started feeling great. Yeah.
But now, when you've made a connection with yourself, when people come into your circle or inside your boundary, do you think it affects you or you are okay? If people are coming, good. They are not coming, okay. If they come, I'll have some good time with them. I'll spend some nice time with them. And then after that, if they want to go, they have to go. But I have made a connection with them and I'll continue with that. And I'll continue with the connection with myself. Do you think something like this happens?
Yeah, it is happening, but uh, the thing is, I sometimes I fear. Like, it is
Hmm.
very 90% it is gone, but 10% it is here in my in
Hmm.
me, that
So it is
I
go
want to keep
on.
people happy,
Hmm.
because they don't go, like, I don't think about that, but they, if they gone, I'm totally okay. If they gone, I'm totally okay. I don't care about that people. I don't think over about that people. They go, okay, they go. And I again I started, like, reading, spending time with nature, and so it don't get it can't affect me.
It does not affect you, right? Achika, you want
Yeah.
to say something to what Gaurav is saying?
Not much right now, but I would like to say that we should start that scale because
Hmm.
after that scale, you'll get a lot of understanding about yourself.
Oh, we are already okay. We are. Time runs away, huh? Archika,
Yeah.
absolutely. Harshit, we'll come back to you and explain self-esteem. I think let's do that after this the scale, if it is possible. Otherwise, tomorrow we'll start with this. So we are moving on to the scale. I hope everybody has a pen and a paper or a notebook in your hand. We are going to be giving you questions for which you will have answer of true or false. Is everybody ready? Can we get a thumbs up? Are you ready to understand whether you take onus of what you do in your life, or you blame others, or you criticize others for having done things to you in your life? So there are 20 questions, guys. You will have to be giving answers as true or false. And
Okay, Ashina, let me
yeah.
explain this.
Hmm.
Please write down 1 to 20 number in a row. Okay. And when
Hmm.
we are saying questions, you have to write either true or false. Number one,
Right.
if it's true, then true. If it's false, then false. Okay.
Absolutely. So
So
these
Ashina, you
questions
start
हैं.
with it.
Okay, go on, Archika.
Okay. Should I start?
No, you were saying something.
No, no, no.
So
I was saying
1
that
से
you
20
start.
तक क्वेश्चंस हैं. अर्चिका मैम सेड 1 to 20 तक लिख लीजिए. और हर क्वेश्चन के आगे या आप, और आपने इसको अपने आप को बहुत ज्यादा डीपली नहीं सोचना है. जो पहला थॉट है उसी के ऊपर एक्ट करना है, ठीक है?
Be
सो हम
truthful
लोग
and be honest to yourself, please.
एब्सोल्युटली बी ट्रूथफुल एंड ऑनेस्ट। एक क्वेश्चन को 2 बार रिपीट करूंगी मैं, एंड इफ देर इज एनी प्रॉब्लम you may come back and write it down. Starting with the first question, hope everybody has written 1 to 20. और जब ये 1 to 20 लिख रहे हैं तो क्या इमोशंस में कोई चेंज आया? क्या लगा अरे कुछ करना है, चलो चलो जल्दी करो कहीं हम पीछे ना छूट जाएं? क्या ऐसी फीलिंग आई? Please do tell us if anything like that happened just now. All right. Let's go on to the first question. The first question is, I usually get what I want in life. Again, I usually get what I want in life. Second question, I need to be kept informed about news events. I need to be kept informed about news events. Third, I never know where I stand with other people. I never know where I stand with other people. Number 4, I do not really believe in luck or chance. I do not really believe in luck or chance. Number 5, I think that I could easily win a lottery. I think that I could easily win a lottery. Number 6, if I do not succeed on a task, I tend to give up. If I do not succeed in a task, I tend to give up. Number 7, I usually convince others to do things my way. I usually convince others to do things my way. Number 8, people make a difference in controlling crime. People make a difference in controlling crime. Number 9, the success I have is largely a matter of chance. The success I have is largely a matter of chance. Number 10, marriage is largely a gamble for most people. Marriage is largely a gamble for most people. Achika, would you want to take 11?
Okay, 11 is people must be the master of their own fate. People must be the master of their own fate. 12th, it is not important for me to vote. It is not important for me to vote. 13, my life seems like a series of random events. My life seems like a series of random events. 14th, I never try anything that I am not sure of. I never try anything that I am not sure of. 15th, I earn the respect and honors I receive. I earn the respect and honors I receive. 16. A person can get rich by taking risks. A person can get rich by taking risks. 17. Leaders are successful when they work hard. Leaders are successful when they work hard. 18th. Persistence and hard work usually lead to success. Persistence and hard work usually lead to success. 19th. It is difficult to know who my real friends are. It is difficult to know who my real friends are. 20th and the last one. Other people usually control my life. Other people usually control my life. That's it.
All right, let's just give a minute. No, minute would be too much. Just 10 seconds before Archika, you explain the scoring to all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. You may start, Archika. Go ahead.
Okay. So you have to give yourself 5 points for each questions if you indicated false. I mean,
But
जो भी अब मैं क्वेश्चन नंबर बोलूंगी, अगर उसमें आपने false लिखा है, तो आपको वहां पे 5 points देने हैं. Understood? Ashima, can you read out the comments for me?
yes, Gaurav says I was not able to write down. No problems. You can come back. You can listen to the recording and you will hear the scoring. So please, जो नहीं कर पाए हैं, come back. कम बैक नहीं स्पीड था क्या बहुत ज्यादा स्पीड से बोला हमने तो बहुत धीरे धीरे बोला कोई बात नहीं जो लोग नहीं कर पाए हैं आप लोग वापस से आ जाओ हो सकता है हमारा स्पीड थोड़ा सा ज्यादा हो नो प्रॉब्लम्स
It's okay. You can go through the recordings and you can send a score and we'll give you explanation and interpretations.
नो प्रॉब्लम्स गौरव इट्स एब्सोल्युटली ऑल राइट हम सबका अपना एक इंडिविजुअल स्टाइल है कुछ तेज हैं कुछ फास्ट हैं कुछ धीरे हैं और जो
Okay,
धीरे
let me do it, Ashima.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay.
जी
Yeah.
बोलिए हर्षित
Ma'am, can you repeat eighth one?
द
Okay,
क्वेश्चन
it's people make a difference in controlling crime.
Can you
Ages.
explain this?
shall we no as of now there is no explanation do you want to explain a little
Just a little, ma'am.
मगर people make a difference in controlling crime मगर मतलब अगर लोग कुछ करेंगे तो कंट्रोल हो जाएगा क्राइम
What do you
Okay,
feel?
fine
True
now.
or false?
Achika, should
Okay.
we repeat the questions again? Are there any more people like Gaurav? One time more, or shall we go on to the scoring?
Okay.
Let's have answers from people. Do you want us to repeat the question one time also, one time more, or it is okay? You all can go back to the recording. I think done already. Good. So I think let's go to the scoring, and you all can go back. Gaurav, if any problem, you can send us a message or listen to the recording. We'll help you if there is any problem. Go on scoring.
Okay, so you have to give 5 points for each questions if you have marked that question false. Clear? अगर आपने जिस क्वेश्चन का मैं नंबर बोलूंगी उसमें आपने false मार्क किया है तो ही आपको 5 points देने हैं. Fine? I'll start with the question numbers. Number 2. Question number 2. Question number 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 19 and 20.
I'll quickly repeat the question numbers. आपको इन question numbers के लिए अगर आपने false लिखा है तो 5 points देने हैं. The question numbers are 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 19 and 20.
Please let us know when you guys are done.
I think they're all done. They can
Okay.
come back to the recording. Yeah.
Next step is give yourself 5 points if you have given these answers as true. Okay? अगर आपने अपने इन क्वेश्चन नंबर्स में ट्रू मार्क किया है तो आपको अपने आप को 5 points देने हैं. फाइन? क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. बी क्लियर. अगर वहां पे फॉल्स मार्क किया तो कोई मार्किंग नहीं है. जो जहां पे बोला है अगर वहां कुछ और है तो मार्किंग ही नहीं है वहां पर. Okay, so give yourself 5 points to each question if you have indicated true. So question number 1, question number 4, 7, 8, 11, 15, 17, 18.
1,
Okay.
4, 7, 8, 11, 15, 17 and 18. अगर आपने इन सबको ट्रू मार्क किया था तो ही 5 मार्क्स, नहीं तो कुछ भी नहीं.
Okay, just do this and calculate your scores and keep it safe with yourself.
Yeah, keep it
When
safe. You
you
tell them the scoring, Archika, so they can later calculate and understand where they are. Right now, you can explain them the scoring.
Okay, so what is locus of actually what we are doing is we are finding that where our control lies. It's internal or external. Internal is when we are something happens and we are blaming ourselves. For example, आप एग्जाम देने गए, आपका एग्जाम थोड़ा अच्छा नहीं हुआ, दो एग्जाम टफ था, आपके सिलेबस से बाहर भी बहुत कुछ था, बट स्टिल व्हेन यू गॉट योर मार्क्स एंड दे वर नॉट गुड, यू आर लाइक कि सारी गलती मेरी ही है, मैं ही हमेशा कुछ गलत कर देता हूँ. नॉट जस्ट एग्जाम, अगर लाइफ में भी ऐसा कुछ होता है कि कोई आपको कुछ कह रहा है कि ये इस तरह से गलत हो गया, लाइफ में ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए था, ऑफिस में ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था, एंड यू स्टार्ट ब्लेमिंग योरसेल्फ कि अब मेरी ही वजह से हुआ है, मैंने ही गलत किया होगा. चाहे आपने कुछ किया है या नहीं किया है, इवन यू आर अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट थिंग और नॉट, बट समवेयर यू स्टार्ट ब्लेमिंग योरसेल्फ. दैट्स इंटरनल थिंग. Okay. External is when you are blaming other people, when you are finding, some escape route कि एग्जाम आप देने गए और वहां पे आपको नहीं आता है, तो इसे एग्जाम क्वेश्चन पेपर ही खराब था, उस टीचर को बनाना ही नहीं आता, उसे पता ही नहीं सिलेबस क्या था, ऐसे थोड़ी क्वेश्चन दिए जाते हैं, ये तो समझ ही नहीं आ रहे थे, तो मेरी गलती नहीं है. If something wrong is going on in your life, so you're blaming other. You're finding a person to blame, or you're finding situation, or you're finding time. You're blaming anything except yourself. Anything and
It's
everything.
like you're not ready to take onus, you're not ready to take control and charge. You would put it on others for whatever is happening in your life.
Okay. So in general, we can have it either we are having complete internal thing, complete external. Sometimes we can have both. Okay, and there is something like we can have balance also, जहाँ पे दोनों we are having external and internal kind of equilibrium, balance हो रहा है वहाँ पर. So this scoring we can access not 100% because there are other scales also, but most of the time we get the accurate, readings with this. So now I'll explain with you the what are the scores you are having and how you can understand this. So I'll start, Ashima.
Yeah, go
If
on. This is a
you're
self-monitored test. So you, whatever marks you have given, they are your thought process. And now you'll understand where you are. Go on, Archika.
okay, if your score is between 0 to 15, okay,
15.
so
0 to
15,
15. 1,
1
5,
5,
15.
yeah. अगर 15 तक आपका स्कोर है, then you are having very strong external control. तो आप हमेशा दूसरों को ही blame करते हैं. Very strong one. Okay. If your score is 20 to 35, then it's a external. Not very strong, but it's a external.
Still
40,
external.
still
Yeah.
external. 40 to 60, it means you are having both external and internal. 40 to 60.
मतलब
65,
जहाँ पे आप चाहते हो आप अपना ओनस भी ले लेते हो कि हाँ यार मैंने ही गलत किया होगा, नहीं तो आप दूसरे को भी कर सकते हो. सो इट इज लाइक अकॉर्डिंग टू द इवेंट एंड सिचुएशन यू कैन गो ऑन.
and this is somewhere if you have this score between 40 to 60 and when you have both internal and external, तो आपकी जो analysis करने की एक capability है, you are having it. आप वो analysis कर पाते हो. And you are able to, make a difference between right and wrong and what is done, what is not to be done. To some extent, you are actually having a balance. Okay, next
Jatin, if
is
you are having 55, you are maintaining both. You take onus and you tell others are responsible. So it is both ways. So as Archika just said, 40 to 60 is both external and internal locus of control, and 65 to 80 is internal locus of control. So you are 55. So it's basically you're probably maintaining both. You want to say something, Jatin? Go on.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
okay,
So
and
yeah.
85 to 100 is very strong internal one.
And 65 to 80 was internal locus of control.
Yeah, 65 to 80 was internal, and 85 to 100. It's like very strong. You always blame yourself. You always feel, you take responsibility for everything what's going wrong around or whatever is happening around.
So you kind of take the onus but still keep blaming yourself. Jatin says 55 seems. So Jatin probably is trying to take onus of everything. Jatin, that, as Archika said, that if we can really reach out and if we can have, that individual, because many a times there are a lot of things which are internal, and there are a lot of things in your surroundings which we are not able to understand right now. And as there are more assessments or other things which can be done, so as of now, yes, we have understood that you're a perfectionist and you try to take onus, and you take it, you, like we yesterday used the word the shining man in the armor. You want to stand up for everybody, and you don't want to be letting your guard down कि अगर मैंने अपनी weakness show करी तो सब बिखर जाएगा, or then people would say अरे अरे ये तो कुछ नहीं. So you have that inside, probably that's the feeling so far, but definitely you're a wonderful person, but somewhere you'll have to let loose and you'll have to unwind a little. That's what is my perception as of now. But yes, you're a wonderful person. And we are all, right? Everybody down there, we have told you the scores. Anybody who has a question, anybody who wants to add something, ask something, any confusion, to this before we go on further, because we are yet to talk about what societal pressures are and self-esteem, as we were asked by Harshit. So we would be able to go on to the explanation of the whole concept: self-esteem, self-respect, self-image, self-confidence. Our self is important. As Krishna says, your best friend is yourself. Your best enemy, your biggest enemy is yourself. So don't let yourself down. You have to make yourself rise. And if you have to make yourself rise, you have to connect to yourself. Okay. Anybody who wants to say? We have Uma Shankar, Baldev, Rajput, Manik, Soham, Sia, Suchi. Those who have not done this this is a self-assessment questionnaire, of 20 questions where you get to know how connected or how much you believe in yourself or how much you blame the others. So it's the big game of blame or believe, or a balance of both. Anybody who has a question? Let's hear from Baldev. Let me just invite Baldev and Uma Shankar and see if they have to say something. And anybody else, Sia, Suraj, Akhil, go on, Uma Shankar.
I want to say one thing, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, my score is 50. And what I think of myself is I remain confused about my thoughts, means about what I think generally about things. So is my score justify that thing that I am a confused personality?
And why are you confused is the first question.
Because means I think means from both I think means about anything from the both sides at the same time. Means I have habit of this.
जैसे कुछ एग्जाम्पल दो हर्षित.
Means I usually don't take one side.
हाँ.
Usually this happens with
मतलब तुम वो बीच में बैठे रहते हो, जिधर ज्यादा पलड़ा भारी होगा मैं उधर चला जाऊंगा, ऐसा कुछ है?
Kind of.
So which means that you're not ready to take the responsibility yet.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I am 30 right now.
All right. So what are you doing?
Actually I quit my previous job and looking for the job change.
All right.
Yeah.
So हमारे ना कहीं पे जो सोसाइटी है ना हमारे को ऐसा बना देती है हर्षित, क्योंकि हमें लगता है अगर हमने ओनर्स ले लिया तो भी पिटेंगे, नहीं लिया तो भी पिटेंगे, तो हम दोनों तरफ हाँ 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 करते रहते हैं. ऐसा है ना हमारे समाज में कुछ कुछ.
Yes, ma'am.
तो हम वही करते रह जाते हैं और इसीलिए हमारा खुद का आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस हो जाता है. वो कंफ्यूजन जो होता है ना, so इसीलिए हमें खुद से कनेक्ट होना बहुत जरूरी है हर्षित. जस्ट स्टे ट्यून्ड. आई थिंक अगर हम आपको इस तरह से हेल्प कर पाए, थोड़ा सा कल आप थोड़ा जल्दी आना, वील आस्क यू सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस एंड ऑल, राइट?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, please stay tuned, and if we can really help you, we'll also feel good about it. बिकॉज हमारी सोसाइटी कुछ ऐसी है कि हम किसी भी चीज का ओनस लेने से डरते हैं, क्योंकि हमें लगता है ये पूरा पर्चा हमारे सिर पे फट जाएगा, एंड वी डोंट वांट दैट टू हैपन, बिकॉज हम डरते हैं कि कोई हमारे से बुरा ना मना जाए, हमें लोग क्या कहेंगे, हमें बोलेंगे ज्यादा स्मार्ट बनता है या ज्यादा स्मार्ट बनती है, या बोलेंगे अरे मतलब देखो, वी आर ट्राइंग टू बैलेंस, बट are we trying to balance in the right way is the question. Let's hear from Uma Shankar.
हाय, गुड आफ्टरनून मैडम।
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
मेरे केस में तो मैडम वो समथिंग डिफरेंट हो जाता है हमेशा, क्योंकि रीज़न क्या है, मैं कभी भी ना किसी को प्लीज करने के लिए आंसर नहीं देता। मैं जो लर्न किया हूँ और मेरा जो व्यू ऑफ या मेरी जो थॉट प्रोसेस है या जो मेरी एक्सपीरियंस है, डिस्कशन पे जो भी होता है उसको पॉजिटिव वे से मैं रखने की कोशिश करता हूँ। उसमें कई बार क्या होता है, मैच नहीं करता है ना, तो कभी कभी वो डिफरेंट वे में चला जाता है, और ये ज़्यादातर होता है मेरे केस पे।
डिफरेंट
तो
मतलब
और डिफ़िकल्ट होता है सामने वाले को भी कन्विंस करने के लिए, भी डिफ़िकल्ट जाता है, क्योंकि अगर सपोज वो हम दोनों का अगर किसी भी चीज़ पे परसेप्शन या नज़रिया अलग है ना, तो वो सामने वाला अपने पे रहता है। लेकिन मैं किसी को खुश करने के लिए नहीं करता हूँ, और ना तो किसी को नाराज़ करने के लिए, डिसअपॉइंट के लिए भी नहीं, और उसको अपने तरीके से, और पहले भी मैं सॉरी और ये सब चीज़ ऐड कर देता हूँ कि सपोज मेरी ओपिनियन समथिंग डिफरेंट है अगर किसी से। और सेल्फ स्टीम, यस मैडम, अगर जहाँ पे मैं कुछ मेरे बिहेवियर है, जहाँ पे इनविटेशन नहीं है नहीं जाने का, जहाँ पे पीपल आपके जाने से खुश नहीं है नहीं जाने का, लेकिन सपोज कोई आपसे आता है तो यस एज ए वेलकम, आप पहले तो अपने तरफ से मैं हाथ बढ़ाता हूँ, वेलकम करता हूँ। लेकिन अगर मुझे कुछ समथिंग, अगर मेरे को कुछ एरोगेंसी लगा या कुछ सामने वाला कभी कुछ ओवर स्मार्ट बनता है, तो मैं उसमें से थोड़ा सा अपने आप को डिस्टेंस मेंटेन कर लेता हूँ, और पोलाइट वे से।
वो तो बिल्कुल सही है ना। अगर आपको लगता है देखो, आपने ये बोला जहां पर लोग मुझे लाइक नहीं करते हैं वहां मैं नहीं जाता हूँ, और शायद हम सबके अंदर कुछ ना कुछ ऐसे बटन लगे हुए हैं जहां पे हमारी वेवलेंथ ट्रैवल करती हैं। हाँ, अगर हम उसको प्रिज्यूम और एज्यूम नहीं कर रहे हैं तो, राइट? Achika, would you want to build on what Uma Shankar said?
Actually, first of all, I want to clear to everybody that whatever assessment, whatever scales we are doing here, don't think कि आप हमेशा ही उस स्केल में या इसके जो इंटरप्रिटेशन हमने निकाली है उस टाइम पे आप अपने आप को माइंडसेट फिक्स कर लें कि अच्छा मेरा इंटरनल है तो आप उसी पैटर्न पे जाके सोचें कि इंटरनल के अलावा तो मैं कहीं जा ही नहीं सकता हूँ, शायद मैं इसीलिए कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरा ये स्कोर निकला था और मेरा ये आया था। तो प्लीज ऐसा नहीं है। ये स्केल्स और असेसमेंट they gives us better understanding of your personality, of your inner strength and weaknesses। तो हम एज ए साइकोलॉजिस्ट ये सारे स्केल्स हम इसलिए करते हैं ताकि हम आप लोगों को अच्छे से समझ पाए, और जब हमें आपको गाइड करना है और हमें आपको एक आगे रास्ता दिखाना है तो वी शुड नो that how we have to plan our strategy, how we have to plan our treatment। this first thing। another thing is we are everybody we are here and हम लोग कभी भी अपना कुछ भी change करने की capability रखते हैं। if right now if I'm having an internal control and I know this thing, I can turn into external and I can balance also। so if your balance is like they were saying, Harshit is saying कि score 50 आ रहा है मैम तो मैं कहाँ पे जाता हूँ, तो अभी हर्षित के दिमाग में चलेगा कि अच्छा मैं इंटरनल हूँ मैं एक्सटर्नल हूँ मैं हूँ कहाँ पर। तो इट्स लाइक यू आर क्रिएटिंग अ बैलेंस एंड यू आर डूइंग योर थिंग्स इन अ राइट वे। डोंट लूज योर सेल्फ कंसेप्ट, जो आपका सेल्फ वर्थ होता है ना, सेल्फ वर्थ इज व्हाट हमारा सेंस ऑफ बिलोंगिंग होता है, दैट आई एम गुड इनफ। सो एज फार एज योर सेल्फ वर्थ इज देयर, यू नो आपकी वर्थ कितनी है, आप कहाँ बिलोंग करते हैं, आप कर सकते हैं। सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट भी है, एस्टीम भी है। एस्टीम इज समथिंग हाउ यू थिंक एंड फील अबाउट योर सेल्फ, अपने बारे में अपना क्या ओपिनियन है मेरा, दैट इज वॉट इज। एंड सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट वी नो, आत्मसम्मान जो होता है दैट इज अ पॉजिटिव फीलिंग। एंड सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट कहीं ना कहीं कंपोनेंट है सेल्फ एस्टीम का। इट्स लाइक कि थोड़ा सा ही फर्क है सेल्फ एस्टीम और सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट में हमारी। सो प्लीज बी क्लियर ऑल दीज थिंग्स एंड आप जो भी अपनी लाइफ में आप लोग कर रहे हैं यू आर डूइंग ऑल गुड, because we always try to do good and we are doing good। It just sometimes we need little guidance, sometimes we need directions, and that is why we guys are here and other professionals are here.
सो बिल्डिंग ऑन व्हाट अर्चिका सेड, एक चीज आप लोग ये समझ लीजिए कि अगर हम अपनी जिंदगी का खुद से ओनर्स लेते हैं एंड इफ वी स्टैंड रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर अस, इट इज वेरी गुड. और कई सिचुएशन जिसपे हमारा कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है, उसके लिए तो हम खुद को ब्लेम नहीं कर सकते हैं ना, हम उसका ओनर्स लेंगे कैसे, राइट? सो वी हैव टू लेट इट बी ऑन द एक्सटर्नल इवेंट्स जो हमारे हाथ में ही नहीं है. Rufin has joined. Let's hear from Rufin.
Oh, hi everyone. So I have a question with regards to this. When we are at home, surrounded by family members, and they understand us and they support us and they know us in and out, and we are comfortable in that situation. But while we are in a workplace environment, there is this crab in a bucket kind of a situation there. Everyone wants to pull you down. So irrespective of whether you have real self-esteem or self-respect, there you will have to project a different self of yours, right? This is what I wanted to understand. So sometimes, having a score of 60 or 55 may not help there, because that's not sometimes the situations there are created and they are not natural.
So you can't take onus and you can't stand responsible and you can't say that I am in charge of things. That's what you're saying?
On the other way around, on the other hand, you don't start blaming yourself for things. You start to put the onus, because you know that
Absolutely.
situations were created and probably those were not true, and somebody wants to put the blame on you, and you don't accept this, right? Because
रुफिन, आपने दो शब्द बोले कि जब हम बाहर होते हैं तो लोग हमें पुट डाउन करने की कोशिश करते हैं. हमें ये कैसे पता that people are trying to put us down? That's my question to you.
Because they are not true, right? There are several conversations that happen, and then you come to know कि conversation हो चुका है, and then somebody makes an impression based on that conversation.
So what is our thought process during that time?
Our thought process is, we should get the opportunity to go and clarify it, but kabhi wo milta nahi. You don't get those opportunities.
So what kind of connect we make with ourselves at that time? Either we say, I don't care, I say, let it be, time will show everybody, let me keep doing my best, let me not get hassled by... Yeah, go on.
No, that's a very dangerous situation. You should not be, because you're not in you're not in your family environment, you're in a workplace environment where there is a lot of competition. Like I mentioned, it's the crab in a bucket syndrome where everyone wants to pull you down. So my question is, how do you handle that?
Rufin, what kind of a connection do you have with your own self? What do you think? If I was to ask you, who is Rufin? Who are you? Tell us something about yourself. What will you say?
I'm a fair person. So I believe in fairness and I believe in giving chances to others. So, and I've also learned, through experience. So I always say, okay, once you can make mistakes, and then you can correct it the next time. Right? So I believe in having a fair discussion and then making that correction. So allowing that person to make the correction.
What kind of a person you are? You said I'm a fair person. But if I was to ask you, who are you? As an individual, what kind of an emotional being? What are your qualities? Right now, I think there is something happening in your surroundings, in your office, or something which is really disturbing you. That's why you come up with the word like I am fair and I give chances and all that stuff. Because if in another situation, if he had asked you, you would have been talking about yourself. I think there is something which is on your head which is disturbing, and Uma Shankar says, same for me too.
Yeah, I mean, see, when you are, I mean, in your awake moments, yeah, more than 50% of your time is spent in workplace.
Hmm.
Yeah, so perhaps you spend 70% of the time
Okay,
working.
Rufin, just tell me one thing. When you are in such situation at your workplace and something happens which you're not liking, but you're feeling that the other person, people are there trying to let you down, right? So do you lose yourself, your opinion about yourself inside you? What it's like that you know I'm what I'm worth is what I'm
No,
capable of.
I don't. Yeah, I don't lose. Yeah,
You don't lose. First
yeah,
thing. So this is your
yes,
self-esteem, what is talking. Okay.
right.
Then there is something. Can you say no? Can you say no when you actually want to say no, or do you say yes
Yes,
when you want to say
yeah,
no?
yeah, I can say no when I actually want to say no.
Okay, that is your self-respect, which doesn't allow you to vote out, right? And when
Yes,
something is happening and other people are there, they are trying. Okay, now Rufin is not capable of this or that, but you know, yeah, I am capable. I am worth of it because I know myself. Do you feel that?
yes,
That is your
I do
self
that.
worth.
Yeah,
Worth.
yes,
Okay, so you know your worth. So actually, you are quite balanced. Okay, you cannot control, everybody. You cannot control their opinion. What I was
right,
asking you right now, what your feelings, your internal thing, your confidence, that was you. But you were feeling bad about yourself because the surroundings were not in your favor. Okay, people were not supporting you. Were you were expecting, from them
right,
that because you are
exactly,
doing your good, but
right.
still you're not getting that push, you're not getting that pull. In fact, they are pushing you down, they are not pulling you up, right?
Yes, right,
Yeah. So first of all, first thing you have to do is stop expecting things. Just keep expectations from yourself. You are the one who can actually raise yourself. You are the one you can actually down yourself. Okay. अपने आप में विश्वास रखना सबसे पहली चीज और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है. Because at any point of time, at some point of time, everybody will leave you. Doesn't matter he's your father, he's your mother. That doesn't so ये मतलब नहीं है, doesn't mean that कि they are not with you, they don't love you. But sometimes situations, sometimes circumstances, sometimes whatever is going on with them, it happens. We fail to understand where they are standing or where we are standing. You know,
right.
we get judgmental and all like that. So first start expecting just from yourself and start realizing what is your self-worth. Can I do this? Will I be able to? Yes, I can. I will. It's
Okay, can't hear Archika. I
every
don't know if she's saying
time we
some
are unable to. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a small gap, but it's
small
okay. Now I
glitch.
can hear
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Go on,
Okay.
Archika.
So uh, don't say yes when you want to say no. This is what the very good rule of the life is. But every time we cannot do that and we don't do that, even though we are aware of this fact. And that's something very practical in life. हमेशा हम नहीं कर पाते हैं, right? But try
yes.
करना चाहिए. We should try
And,
this.
and very
Yeah.
often I have the experience that your silence is considered your weakness. So, I mean, what I've come to know, understand is don't be silent. Just voice
No,
out.
actually, silence is a very powerful thing. What you are feeling that they are thinking your weakness, maybe they are getting, scared. They are getting that fear. Why he is not saying anything?
Yeah.
Why? What is going on? What are his plans?
But that's what, no? I
Why
mean,
is
I
he
consider
silent? So
that
that's not your
that
weakness.
is, no, I considered silence to be a response, but sometimes silence becomes your weakness. Like I mentioned, things are already discussed everywhere. I mean, I don't want to now linger too much into it because
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'm
Please.
taking much time of,
No, no,
No,
it's
I
I mean,
would
there's
fine.
like
only
to
six.
just build on this, Rufin, that, again, as we are talking about building a balance, we are the right judge to understand where and how the balance is to be achieved. And if we are really in a place where we are comfortable and there are no self doubts, we can decide when to be silent, when to talk, when to explain, when to hold back, and when to really, the way we speak. the tone, the words, the kind of communication style we use, it reflects on the mindset which we are carrying. So it is very important to connect to yourself to be sure of the mindset you're going with. If you're trying to go explain something to somebody who is trying to say wrong things or make a communication gap, and you're trying to bridge that gap, first you will have to connect with yourself. You will have to be sure that you are not afraid, you are not under self doubt. And when you go to talk to that person, you maintain a friendly tone, you give that explanation because it is needed at that time, but must be aware that it should not come as a fear factor or a self-doubting factor, and the other person should be given a message, because in the corporate structure I think this is really happening. And most of the time when people are trying to pull somebody down, it is because they themselves are afraid of that particular person, because that person is delivering what probably they are not able to deliver. Does that make sense? To everybody down there who's listening, and to Rufin and to Uma Shankar, आपको कोई भी खींचता क्यों है, आपके बारे में गलत क्यों कहता है? क्योंकि उसके खुद में अपने बारे में सेल्फ डाउट होता है या फियर होता है कि कहीं ये मुझसे आगे ना निकल जाए, क्योंकि इसको तो मुझसे ज्यादा नॉलेज है, दिस पर्सन इज मोर वर्स्ट, this person is liked, appreciated, the work style is better. So if you build that gap in your own way, in a friendly manner, yet making sure that you are not in self doubt, and so that is why you have to get connected to yourself. Because ये जो complexes है ना, superiority complex, inferiority complex, or trying to put somebody down, happens when I am not sure of myself. तो मैं दूसरे के ऊपर प्रोजेक्ट करता हूँ या करती हूँ कि भाई अरे देखो देखो वो तो अपने आप को कितना स्मार्ट समझता है. एक्चुअली स्मार्ट मैं अपने आप को समझ रही हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे पता है मेरे अंदर कुछ कमी है. I hope that makes sense for Uma Shankar and Rufin. And we have more people down there. We have one person also. Aman, go on. Do you want to say something? Have you been here for long or you've just joined? I think Aman is relatively new. No problems. Rufin and Uma Shankar, I hope we answered whatever was there. We have 6 minutes left. We wanted to do a presentation of, taking you down a visualization, put you into a calm position. But I think right now it is not possible because we are short on time now. So talking to Rufin Archika, tomorrow's session, if there are any things which people want to clarify, I think it is really important to understand the self-doubt, the societal pressures. I'd quickly run people down to this, why the societal pressures happen. The societal pressure happens because people want us to be, beautiful. People wanted us to represent ourselves in some way. People want us to be, मोटा क्यों है, पतला क्यों नहीं है. Most of the time, अरे ये क्या कपड़े पहने हैं भाई, तुम तो बड़े मोटे हो गए, तुम तो बड़े पतले हो गए. The society is trying to project things on you. And the problem with us is that we are always ready to take those pressures. And then when we talk about this body image, hota kya hai? We have dissatisfaction. Most of the girls will be अरे मैं मोटी हो गई, अरे मैं पतली हो, अरे नहीं यार खाना नहीं है, बिल्कुल नहीं खाना है, क्योंकि अभी तो मेरा वजन बढ़ गया. मेरी मम्मी भी बोल रही थी, मेरे फ्रेंड्स भी बोल रहे हैं. You understand? So this is the very simple basic rule of that body image which the society puts pressure on us. और दूसरा जो इम्पोर्टेंट इन दिनों में है वो है सोशल मीडिया. सोशल मीडिया पे हमें लगता है सब एकदम स्पिक एंड स्पैन है. Everybody is the hero and the heroine. I am the one who is being left out. And social media is really, really contributing to the youngsters of today. I hope the people beyond that are not getting affected, but the youngsters of today are feeling left out. And the self-esteem goes down. अरे ये makeup मैंने ऐसा नहीं, अरे I don't know how to do makeup, I don't know how to present myself. So this is what is happening because of social media. And Uma Shankar says, I'm being affected in office only, but not outside office. Okay. Uma Shankar, I think we'll have to talk to you because we'll have to understand certain things about you also. Then moving on to the third point on societal pressure, it is called cultural and ethnic pressures. We all have them. कि भाई कैसे आपकी जो सोसाइटी है, आपका समाज है, आपकी जो पर्टिकुलर कल्चर है, उसमें आपको कैसे बिहेव करना है, कैसे नहीं बिहेव करना है, तो वो भी आप पे एक प्रेशर डालता है. योर अचीवमेंट्स एंड सक्सेस इज द नेक्स्ट. आप कैसे सक्सेसफुल हो कि नहीं हो, आपके पास जॉब, आपके पास अगर जॉब नहीं है तो लोग आके पूछते हैं, हाँ अभी जॉब नहीं कर रहे, अच्छा अच्छा क्यों नहीं कर रहे भाई, अगर आप अच्छी जॉब कर रहे हो तब भी पूछेंगे अच्छा अच्छी कर रहे हो, ठीक है, वो बोले क्यों छोड़ दी. सो पीपल विल नॉट लेट यू लिव. आपकी अचीवमेंट, आपकी सक्सेस, आपके फेलियर, सबके ऊपर आपके ऊपर कोई ना कोई पार्ट रह रहा है. देन यू हैव पीयर प्रेशर. हमारे पियर्स जो है ना, हमारे दोस्त, आजकल चेंज हो रहा है. वी आर नॉट बॉदर्ड, बट peers still in the adolescence they're putting a lot of pressure on each other because वो self identity formation हो रहा है ना, तो सब pressure डाल रहे हैं. And then there are age related pressures. हम बड़े हो रहे हैं, हमारी उम्र बढ़ रही है, हमारे साथ ये हो रहा है, हमारे साथ वो हो रहा है. So Aman is saying many studies show this 32% girls felt pressure about their body image versus 19% of boys feeling pressured. Also 24% of girls versus 17% of boys felt peer pressure. Absolutely. So आप समझ रहे हो, हमारी सोसाइटी हमारे ऊपर बहुत तरह से प्रेशर डालती है. लड़कों को रोना नहीं चाहिए, लड़कियों को गुलाबी पहनना चाहिए, लड़के ने गुलाबी पहन लिया तो उसकी खिल्ली उड़ाई जा रही है, लड़का रो रहा है तो दे मेकिंग फन ऑफ हिम. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स. एंड कहीं ना कहीं ये हमारे कोर बिलीव्स में अंदर तक घुस जाते हैं, हमारे अनकॉन्शियस में जाके बैठे रहते हैं और हमें बहुत तंग करते हैं. So, Archika, would you want to tell them what are the strategies of letting go of the societal pressures? And जैसे कि अमन ने डेटास दिए हैं, इन डेटास को हम बढ़ने ना दें और कम करें.
Actually, first of all, Ashima, we should stop, thinking about the competition around, and we should not take everybody as our competition. This is the first thing we should do. Because हम लोग परेशान तभी होते हैं जब हम किसी को अपने से ज़्यादा ऊपर रख देते हैं, या किसी के अचीवमेंट्स को हम इतना बड़ा बना लेते हैं अपने दिमाग में कि हमें अपनी अचीवमेंट्स मतलब कम लगने लगती हैं. ऐसा लगता है हमने कुछ अचीव ही नहीं किया है. ठीक
भाई
है.
गुप्ता अंकल के बेटे ने अचीव कर लिया तो कोई बात नहीं, मैं कर लूंगा या कर लूंगी जब मेरी बारी आएगी, तो उससे मुझे प्रेशर क्यों लेना, राइट? व्हाई डू आई
नहीं,
गेट
कर लूंगा
चैलेंज्ड?
या कर लूंगी नहीं, सबसे पहले यही सोचना है कि फाइन, उसने हार्ड वर्क किया, उसको मिल गया, ठीक है. व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, व्हाट माय कैपेबिलिटी इज, आई विल वर्क ऑन दैट. दिस इज माय फोर्टे, दिस इज माय स्पेशलाइजेशन. The other person might not having it. So stop comparing
एब्सोल्युटली.
yourself with everybody and stop taking them as your competition. अपना competition हमेशा खुद से होता ही है. ये हम लोग बताने के लिए, समझाने के लिए बहुत कहते हैं कि मैं अपने आप से competition रखूं, अपने खुद से competition रखना चाहिए, but हम लोग समझ नहीं पाते हैं. ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि अपने आप को ही, आप अपने नजरों में अपने आप को जितना ऊंचा उठाएंगे ना, सामने वालों की नजरों में आपको वही नजर आएगा.
यू आर द बिगेस्ट एनिमी, यू आर द बिगेस्ट फ्रेंड. सो आपको खुद के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, आप कौन हो, आप क्या कर सकते हो, आपके पोटेंशियल क्या है. सामने वाला कर रहा है इसलिए मुझे करना है वाली
And
फीलिंग जहां आती
Ashima,
है.
don't stop believing in yourself. जहाँ
एब्सोल्युटली.
अपने आप में आप बिलीव करना छोड़ देते हो ना, वहां से प्रॉब्लम्स शुरू होती हैं, और आप दूसरों के बिलीव्स पे, आप अपने आप को दूसरों के स्टैंडर्ड्स पे आप लाने की कोशिश करते हो, जिससे आपके अपने स्टैंडर्ड्स भी खत्म हो जाते हैं और आपको इतनी
एब्सोल्युटली.
कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है कि मैं क्या करना चाहता था, मैं क्या करना चाहती हूँ, या मैं कहाँ पहुंचना चाहता था, मैं कहाँ पहुंच गई हूँ. सो प्लीज स्टार्ट बिलीविंग योरसेल्फ. हम जो
Believe in
खुद हैं,
yourself, set realistic goals, and be positive about yourself, isn't it? And
even
surround
if
yourself
girls
with
are not
supporting
there,
people. Archika, 9 seconds. Surround yourself with supporting people and supportive people like us. See you all tomorrow.